Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoTrend TV. I'm UV Prajesh again from Tafe Access Limited Tata Car Showroom today in Coimbatore, and I'm here with the brand new top spec Tata Safari XZA Plus automatic variant. Today I'm going to take a detailed drive review of this Tata Safari automatic and see how does it perform in Coimbatore city traffic and on free stretches at high speeds as well. Before we go ahead for the drive, here's a quick overview on this brand new Tata Safari. The new Tata Safari looks similar to the Tata Harrier from the front. That's because it is basically an extended version of the 5-seat Tata Harrier SUV. Both cars are based on the very same Omega Arc platform derived from the Land Rover D8 platform. However, it is the Safari which gets 18-inch dual-tone alloy wheels with all-wheel disc brakes. Also, it is after the B pillar where the Tata Safari is longer than the Harrier, and while the design language is almost the same, the Tata Safari has a different looking tailgate with a more upright fascia. While all variants come as standard with LED tail lights and projector headlamps, a rear windshield wiper washer and defogger along with the front fog lamps are available only from the XM variant onwards. The top spec variants also provide rear fog lamps. The main design element which makes this a proper Safari is the stepped roof-like design element which is provided by these roof rails. However, you can see that this top spec variant gets a panoramic sunroof, whereas the variants without this panoramic sunroof actually get a stepped roof with functional roof rails. The link is provided in the description box below for my detailed interior and exterior review. So now let's get to drive this brand new Tata Safari automatic.
Yes, folks, I'm right now inside the brand new Tata Safari XZA Plus top spec automatic variant. This here is the very same 2-liter 4-cylinder cryoptic engine seen on the Tata Harrier, which produces 170 PS of maximum power and 350 Newton meters of maximum torque through either a 6-speed manual transmission or in this case a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. So let's just start driving to see how does this engine perform. Well, before that, let's just judge the NVH. Turning off the aircon. This is how the engine sounds. Well, it is very quiet, very silent, and much better in refinement when you compare with the Tata Harrier. And let's just see how does this perform on road. Starting with the regular drive mode. While driving, I'll just change the drive modes to experience what does this engine has to offer on the Tata Safari, how well it is tuned for such a larger vehicle. And apparently this car also has got an electric park brake along with auto hold function, so that is going to be very helpful while driving in the city. I'll just demonstrate that while driving as well. Initial feel is that yeah, the creep function is good and the acceleration is also very linear, very smooth. This engine sounds very creamy, much creamier than before, much smoother than before, so that is actually a very good improvement. And this feels like driving a proper large SUV. That's because this is very large. The Harrier itself is larger than the current XUV 500, whereas this Safari is, well, almost 6 centimeters longer than the Harrier itself. So this is probably a large SUV. And glancing into the IRVM, you can see that the rear windshield is even further than the Harrier, so this is properly like driving a large SUV. The bonnet is quite high, so the overall visibility is just like an SUV. So while this may not be as tall or as like skyscraper like building like as the regular Safari, original Safari, or even the Safari Storm, this is still a very large SUV. And yeah, large potholes are taken with aplomb. Well, this car does not care potholes whatsoever. The ride quality is also simply very good, especially on that very rough stretch. So now let's just try accelerating. Before that, I have turned on the aircon because it's definitely quite hot now. Driving in daily city traffic in Coimbatore, this is just city mode. The Safari responds pretty well, almost like the Harrier itself, so no difference whatsoever. However, if you want some power, yeah, that is granted. Well, you just ask for it and that immediately grants you the power. The gearbox is very responsive, surprisingly very responsive, and it just takes that slight half-second lag, that time to shift down if you want to shift down urgently. But yeah, let's just wait and check out how does this perform on sports mode and economy mode as well. So for sports mode, I need to get to the Ukadam bypass, which is much more freer than this Trichy road. So let's just get over there. Yes, folks, I'm here driving on the Ukadam bypass stretch. Well, it is almost 6 p.m. and the traffic is increasing by the minute. So let's just quickly judge this car's on-road performance in multiple drive modes. Now I am driving in the city mode. While accelerating, let me just turn into the sports mode. So this here is the sports mode, and immediately, wow, the gearbox responds much better and the throttle response is amazingly sharp. The throttle response is just unbelievable. Just that slight dab of the accelerator gets this car going. You don't feel like driving a massive, say 4 point whatever length this car is. This is much longer than the Harrier and much heavier as well. And wow, this does not feel like that at all. The handling also is incredible. The steering wheel is slightly on the lighter side, but it is not that it robs you of the confidence. It's not like that. It is properly planted and it is decently communicative as well. So the feedback is good. This sports mode responds like crazy. Yeah, say if you are driving relaxed and if you want to get going quickly, yeah, you may have noticed that there is that slight half-second lag when you actually put your foot down. But apart from that, this engine responds awesome. So now it's time for the economy mode. Enough fooling around with the sports mode. And yeah, in the economy mode, the gearbox, the engine, everything is relaxed. It just goes as it wishes. It just completely tones you down. This is more suited for relaxed highway cruising. Just put the car into cruise control and cruise along. Say on long drives, 200, 300, 500 kilometers, however long you want to go. This engine is capable of doing that in the economy mode itself. If you want to have some bit of power for say overtaking slow trucks, that is also possible. As you can see, the gearbox responds, but it is just not that fast, just not as fast as the sports mode, but still it responds decently, so that overtaking slow vehicles is easy even in the economy mode. So that is really good tuning from Tata Motors regarding this engine and the gearbox. Now talking about other things, well, I'm just approaching here a very bad section. This here is the construction zone at the Sungam area in Coimbatore. Let me just get back into city mode. That's because I need more optimum power for such bad conditions. This car also has electronic park brake and other multiple drive modes, including wet mode, rough road mode, hill descent control, everything else. And when you compare with the Harrier, this car also gets rear wheel disc brakes, so that is also better for off-road and hard braking as well. So getting away from this bad traffic stretch is also pretty easy. However, this car is not free from blind spots. The Tata Harrier itself had quite a lot of blind spots. This being a larger vehicle, especially with larger pillars and massive seats at the back, the blind spots are slightly more, but still it is not that it will completely intimidate you or something. So this here is again a free stretch. This is where I will demonstrate you the auto hold function with the electronic park brake. So I'm just holding the car here, putting it into park mode. Once you slot the car in park mode with the gear lever, this car automatically goes into auto hold function, so that is clearly visible. And if you want to start again, put the car into drive mode, but still the auto hold function remains. Only if you start accelerating, this auto hold function goes away. Yeah, it just starts to move. So this is a pretty easy function for daily driving in traffic itself. So it is not like it is a Safari, so it is very cumbersome to drive in the city or something. This is a very easy and fun to drive Tata Safari, unlike its predecessors. So this is really very good. And talking about the electronic park brake situation, you can also engage it manually by using this button. So yeah, you get the warning on the instrument cluster itself. the park brake is applied, and disengaging is also pretty easy. However, if you engage the electronic park brake manually, let's just see if the auto hold function works. So accelerating, yeah, it works. So even if you engage the park brake with your full knowledge manually by pulling the electronic park brake lever, you can just accelerate and disengage the handbrake itself. So this is also pretty easy. You don't have to push the lever down to disengage the handbrake every time, so that is also pretty good. So that was all about the complete drive, on-road drive experience of the Tata Safari at low speeds, city speeds, at high speeds, as well on multiple drive modes. Other things I would like to explain is that this system is exactly the same as seen on the Tata Harrier, except for the addition of Aira Connect connected car features, and well, as you can see, the interface is also exactly the same. That means it is not the slickest, but still it looks good, and the functionality is pretty good as well. It gets Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as standard, along with 9 speakers from JBL, including a subwoofer, so the audio quality is amazing. If you turn on the headlamps, this car also gets interior ambient mood lighting. However, this is proper broad daylight, so it is not clearly visible. It is completely alright. This car also gets automatic headlamps, automatic wipers, all those stuffs, including auto dimming IRVM from the XT variant itself. And this multiple drive mode selector, the terrain response modes, including wet mode, rough road mode, are available from the XZ variant itself, along with hill descent control and electronic stability program, traction control, turning off button as well. Other things standard on the Harrier and the Safari include the tilt and telescopic adjustable steering wheel, cruise control, all those features I mentioned, and this semi-digital instrument cluster as well. However, the Safari gets tire pressure monitoring system as well. When you compare with the Tata Harrier does not get a tire pressure monitoring system. So this here is the tire pressure monitoring system on the Tata Safari. This is available on the top spec XZ and the XZ Plus variants as standard as well. And well, that's it about the features at the front. Everything is really very good. There is push button start, there is everything you need, including multiple drive modes as well, and there is this massive panoramic sunroof available as an option on the XT and the XZ variants. That means you get the XT Plus and the XZ Plus variants. This is the XZ Plus variant, which gets this massive panoramic sunroof. The controls are over here, so you can electronically operate everything in one touch itself. So there are 3 buttons. You can tilt open, you can slide open. Just in case you are driving in hilly areas, you need a better ambience for the cabin, and you want air recirculation as well, you can use the sunroof properly. Very good. Now that was all about the features over here.
So let's get into the back seat before we conclude this review.
Yes folks, I'm right now in the second row, or the captain chairs, of the brand new Tata Safari XZ A Plus variant, and I'm going to enjoy the executive luxury experience of this second row captain chairs on the Tata Safari. Tata claims to have improved the luxury quotient when compared to the Harrier on the Safari. So let's just see how does that actually feel while on such a bad road such as Racecourse Coimbatore. This seat has a separate armrest for your individual luxury comfort, and the ride quality is pretty good. I mean, it does not bounce around too much. It does not bounce around at all, despite not being a completely independent rear suspension setup, so that is pretty good. The seat support is spot on. It is beautiful. It is absolutely like sitting on a throne. It is very, very comfortable, and the visibility is also pretty good. It is pretty tall and high. You can clearly see that. This is my eye line side of view, and it is a properly commanding seat. These second row chairs are amazing in terms of positioning, comfort and visibility. The windows too are pretty large as well. Features over here include rear power windows, of course, and you get a tweeter and speaker on every door, and you also get this massive panoramic sunroof for additional ambience as well, so that is pretty good. And you also get this boss mode, which is exclusive for the left side passenger, and what it does is easily extend the rear seat legroom for the left side passenger. As you can see, this is absolutely massive. You can easily sit cross-legged in the second row of the Tata Safari. So that is pretty commendable job from Tata Motors. Now that was all about the second row of seats. Let's just quickly hop into the third row. Yes, folks, I am right now traveling in the third row of the Tata Safari XZ A Plus variant, and surprisingly, it is very comfortable. It is spacious even for my frame. My height is 5'11" for reference, and I have adjusted the captain chairs for my height. And despite that, the legroom is pretty decent. The overall space is pretty decent. Well, it is not the most spacious, but still it is pretty decent, given the fact that these are captain chairs, so you get additional space to stretch out your left leg if you are sitting on the right side. And the headroom too is pretty good as well. So it is not as bad as every other third row I have traveled in. So this is pretty good, and the ride quality too is pretty good. It is not bouncy at all. Say this here is a pretty bad stretch under construction zone, but still, I mean, you get certain bit of bounciness in the third row that cannot be avoided, but still this is not too much. It is utterly tolerable, and it is really good. Apart from that, you get individual AC aircon controls for the rear third row AC vents over here, and you also get charging sockets and ports over here on the left side. These are USB ports, so nothing to worry about that. And you also get cup holders. There is a netting over here for additional storage, and everything is very well thought out. So that was all about the third row experience. Let's just get back to the showroom to complete this review.
So that was a detailed drive review of the brand new Tata Safari XZ A Plus automatic on Coimbatore roads. It performs amazingly well in city traffic, on free stretches and on bad roads as well. So it is almost a proper replacement for the original Tata Safari, and it also has more features when you compare with the Tata Harrier as well. So the pricing is on the screen to check out the price range of the automatic range of the Tata Safari. Do let me know in the comment section below what do you think about the brand new Tata Safari automatic range. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.